if it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어 나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자, BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Laura McLucky and Minsu Shin. BFM 부산영어방송.
Hello, good evening and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Busan. Question for you. How many countries have their stamp in your passport? 1, 3, 50,
50.
500?
That's a big jump, right?
That's a lot.
Well, Singapore topples Japan when it comes to ranking of passport power. So Singapore's passport is now the most powerful in the world. How about Korea, you ask? 한국은 2위인가요?
아닙니다. Sorry, it's not. South Korea's passport index fell, but just one notch. So now we are third place.
I'll take
Japan, yeah, not bad, right? Japan, which topped the list last year, also slipped to joint third place. But anyway, what does it mean to have the strongest passport in the world?
Well, the world's most powerful passports are those that offer the greatest travel freedom. Basically, you know, the number of countries you could get into just with just your passport. Yeah, pretty much all of it, right? If you're in like the top, I don't know, top 5 maybe. Although Korea's passport is ranked third, yeah, we'll take it. Still quite powerful.
We got the power.
자 오늘 떠나요 공항으로 핸드폰 꺼나요 제발 널 찾지 말아줘 시끄럽게 소리를 질러줘 어쩔 수 없어 나 가볍게 손을 흔들며 bye bye 쉬지 않고 빛났던 꿈 같은 my youth 이리저리 치고 또 망가질 때쯤 지쳤어 너 미쳤어 너 떠날 거야 다 비켜 I fly away Take me to London, Paris, 뉴욕 시티를 아름다운 이 도시에 빠졌어 나 like I'm a board 날아다니는 새처럼 자유롭게 fly 나 숨을 쉬어 Take me to nowhere, anywhere 어디든 답답한 이곳을 벗어나기만 하면 Shining light, light 빛나는 my youth 자유롭게 fly 나 숨을 쉬어
I do love a little bit of 볼빨간 사춘기. 여행.
That is the title of the song.
I was just saying in general.
네. Just
then-
볼빨간 사춘기를 너무 좋아해서. 네.
좋아요.
여행 to start off our show, and I'm sure a lot of people wanting to go on 여행s these days. You recently
I went on
Went
a
on
여행,
yours.
but so if you're
couple
not
actually.
Korean, I
Yeah.
did go on a couple of 여행.
Yeah.
여행. Yeehaw! 여행. But let me tell you, when you have kids, it's not a vacation.
맞아요.
여행 means trip, right? Or
맞아요.
travel or vacation. But
맞아요.
it's not a vacation when you have
Yeah.
kids. It's doing things as normal without all the normal comforts that are in your home.
Exactly. You're just doing it outside,
You're doing it outside.
in another country.
Everything is more
sometimes.
difficult.
Right?
Yeah. But it's still fun.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, by the way, you are tuned into Inside Out Busan. That is the name of our show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Min Shin.
I'm Laura McCluckey. You can find us on the airwaves, of course, 90.5, 103.3 FM, or you can get us on YouTube. We are streaming live over on YouTube, so search for BEFM or Busan영어방송, and you can find us there.
Come see our pretty and beautiful
Wow,
faces.
look at our, I don't know, well, I don't want to speak for just me, but look at your hair today.
I know, right?
That's good. Don't
Why you gotta point that out?
don't let me mind my business. What's going on
Why
with
you
your hair?
Why you gotta point that out? That's
gotta-
why I always wear a hat.
Listen, whoever did that to your hair, let me know who they are. I'll find them. I'll beat them up for you.
아니, 원래 머리에 제품 바르는데 오늘 안 발라서 그래요.
귀엽다.
네.
너무 귀여워.
뭐가 그렇게 말아오고선 귀여워. Anyways, folks, so speaking of 여행, the global passport ranking for the year 2023, this was carried out. Now, this is conducted based on data provided by the International Air Transport Authority, the IATA. And this is the authority that ranks the world's passport based on the number of destinations passport holders can access without a prior visa.
Yes.
So basically, if you have this passport, you can enter said amount of countries.
Yes, you can. And as you know, the country with the highest visa-free score has the most powerful passport. So Singapore, the Singaporean passport, which is ranked number 1, allows holders visa-free entry to 192 destinations out of 227 in the world.
That's pretty much everywhere.
192, because the extra ones, do you want to go there? I don't know.
Yeah. They're not on there for a reason, I
mean,
bet.
I don't know. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't want to go there.
Oh.
Don't be offended. I'm just saying.
I took it as
do
that.
you want to go there?
Yeah. Right?
If it's on the list.
Yeah. So coming in at number 2, second place, Germany, Italy, and Spain were tied in second place with their passport holders allowed to access 190 destinations, right? That's
good.
just 2 less from number 1.
Yeah.
Now, number 3, actually, it's a 4-way tie, South Korea, our country, right? Japan, Austria, and France jointly ranked 3rd with access to 189 destinations.
Pretty good.
One country sets access to one country sets us and number 2 ranked countries apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all we need is 4 more countries and we'll be at number 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got to work on,
Yeah.
kind of, working things out with those countries.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Can't we just be friends?
Get on it.
However, passport strength, of course, can be interpreted in many ways. And the most powerful passports are those that offer the greatest travel freedom, but also security-wise. Thinking about that, it means it's hard to forge them.
Yeah, right. So that's something that they do take into consideration.
Yeah.
So South Korea having the number 3 most powerful passport in the world. I don't know. I kind of feel powerful just knowing that I have
Yeah.
the world's 3rd most powerful
I
passport.
feel like I need to dominate something.
Right. Or you mean just go somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
Because
sure.
that's what you would do with a passport, right?
Well, I
You're
mean-
just looking for an excuse.
Power.
Yeah.
I feel the power.
Right.
By the
So-
power of Grayskull.
About that power invested in me.
Sure.
Right. Now, listeners, now that you know that you have, for Korean listeners out there that do have a Korean passport, now that you know you have the world's 3rd most powerful passport, maybe take it out, kind of look at it, go, yeah, nice to have this. And ask yourself, what was the first and latest destination that you traveled to overseas and got your passport stamped?
Do they do that anymore?
I think they do.
Do they stamp it?
You do have to go through immigration.
I remember you used to get a lot of stamps, but I don't know, if they actually stamp it as much as they used to back in the day.
They still staple stuff to it too.
Really?
They still use staples, yes, right?
What an antiquated process that is, eh? But I loved it. I used to love getting those stamps.
Try bringing that up to immigration next time you go through it.
Excuse me, why don't you guys stamp us?
Yeah. Let's see if you don't make a visit to the back office. 네, 여권에 도장을 찍은 첫 번째 여행지 또는 가장 최근의 여행지는 어디입니까? 자, 여러분 여권 꺼내시고 한번 보세요. I'm really curious.
저는 대만.
저는 미국이요.
미국?
미국인데 이게 3년 전이었어요. 2019년.
But you go in this year.
I am going this year. 그래서 또 똑같은데 샌프란시스코 도장 받을 거예요.
Oh yeah.
아, 재미없다 나는.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. So I want to hear from you, listeners. Tell us where you've been to. Show us. I mean, not show your passport, but let us know what's in your passport.
Yeah.
Pound 9050 샵 9050 text message, or you could chat with us on our Kakao Talk, or once again come to our YouTube and see our beautiful faces. And Laura says, my super whack haircut.
Yeah, I didn't say super whack. I just said
You meant it, though.
Like basic whack.
You meant it.
Mr. E texting in with two crazy heart eye smile faces. I like that.
I thought that was like a duck lying down showing its web foot.
Is it? No, I don't think so.
It's whatever you make it
But
out
that's
to be.
cute though. That's also cute. That works as well.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, get your messages coming in. Now it's time for News Bites. Yes, indeed. Every time around this time, every day, Annie's in the studio waiting patiently for us to stop talking so she can talk. Hi, Annie.
Hi. I'm always like, I want to jump in.
Yeah.
I got one of those new snazzy passports.
Oh,
Plastic card in it now.
Oh, yeah, me too.
wait, the Korean one or the
Korean one.
Korean one, the blue color one, right?
Yeah.
I have to get mine renewed, so I'm very excited to get my hands on that.
My dad
Fancy.
has that one.
Yeah. What's the last stamp that you have in your passport?
Vietnam.
Oh, recently?
Nice. Remember, she went to Vietnam and everybody thought she was in Texas.
Oh yeah.
I was in Vietnam.
Oh, that's right.
And we're like, you liar, Annie. You
Yeah.
said you were going to Texas. She's like, nope, never
said she was
it.
going to
Didn't
Texas.
say it.
Yeah, she mentioned about somebody just being in Texas, and we're like, oh, yeah, she's
my
probably gonna
husband.
go.
Not my husband's
Oh, that's right.
Texas.
There you go, your husband, right? Oh, Vietnam, Vietnam. So that's the last stamp. Interesting.
Also,
yeah.
the fanciest one I've seen so far is just the sticker. They still stamp everywhere.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's Japan. Yeah,
Stamping
Japan
is a
puts
way
stickers.
to go, right? Well, thank you for letting us know that. Well, let's get to news bites. We got some important news to get to today, right?
Yes, a bit heavier on our news today, but very
Yeah.
important. So the police and forensic experts began a joint inspection of the flooded Osong underpass today. That's where 14 people unfortunately passed away and 10 others were injured. During the on-site investigation today, inspectors concentrated on the function and also the administration of 4 drainage pumps that were built into the underpass. Each of these are capable of discharging 12 tons of water per minute. Obviously, there were some issues. They also investigated the Miho River embankment, which is where 6 tons of water had rushed into the underpass, leading to this catastrophe because it did crumble from the heavy rain. It also revealed that while the underpass was flooding, 15 emergency calls were made in a matter of just an hour, and all of them were calling for help. And investigations are going on into finding out what happened in terms of the response to this matter.
Yeah. Now, there's an investigation into how the Marine ended up getting swept away in the waters, which you shared with us yesterday, right?
That's right. So Marine, his name is Choi Soo-gun. He was found late last night, and unfortunately, he did not make it. Investigations have now begun after it was revealed that the rescue team were not given life vests while they were carrying out searches in such like this dangerous situation. There were questions into whether a safety manual for these situations existed, and officials only commented that there was, but they didn't want to reveal the contents.
Yeah. So it's, once again, it's tough to hear.
Yeah.
While in the process of trying to save and
Yeah.
find other people, right? This is definitely, once again, tough to hear. But thank you so much for this update as investigations and search for, people and to find out how, these things had, undergone. We need to know and definitely keep us updated if more things come to light.
Of course.
What's next?
Right. It was announced today that the heads of state of South Korea, that's President Yoon Suk-yeol, the U.S., President Joe Biden, and Japan, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, so they will hold a trilateral summit at Camp David, which is near Washington in the U.S., next month on the 18th. So they are expected to discuss ways to strengthen deterrence against North Korea's nuclear and missile threats, which are continuously going on, especially with the launch of the Solid Fuel Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or ICBM, the Hwasong-18 that I mentioned. It is quite clear that their nuclear development program has taken another step up. So this upcoming summit was proposed by President Joe Biden when they met back in May in Japan. And they may also discuss supply chain issues as well as the Ukraine war.
So lots on the docket for discussion, of course, with three major heads of state. What is so special about Camp David, though? I mean, what is this location?
Right, just from the name, it kind of looks like a military base, but actually Camp David is a 125-acre country retreat for the President of the United States, and it is located in the wooded hills of sorry if I get this wrong, Catoctin Mountain Park in Maryland. And this meeting is actually really special because it's the first time that the three leaders, Yoon, Biden, and Kishida, have set up a trilateral summit solely for the purpose to meet and not on the sidelines of another multi-country gathering.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's the main show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It's the main
They can
event.
focus on just this.
Yeah.
Lots to look forward to, I guess. What's to come out of this summit between the three leaders of,
Yeah.
These three big countries.
What's going to be the knock-on effect from these three big countries meeting, especially as tensions are kind of rising at the moment with
Quite
North
tricky
Korea.
situations, yes.
So we'll just have to see how that goes. But yeah, again, you'll keep us updated.
Yes, I will.
All right, let's move on to the final piece of news.
Right. So a bit of sad news to end with, but shootings are quite rare in New Zealand, but unfortunately a multiple shooting in the center of Auckland just hours before the Women's World Cup resulted in the death of three people. So two of them were victims and the third was a shooter. Several others were also injured. Their injuries ranged from moderate to critical, and tens of thousands of people had actually gathered into the city to watch New Zealand play against Norway in the kickoff of the World Cup.
Yeah, very tragic to hear, but like Annie, you said, in a country where shootings are very rare, to have something like this, of course, it's going to, put a lot of people's attention on this. So tell us about the incident. What prompted this shooting?
All right. So New Zealand Police Commissioner Andrew Coster said that the shooter was under home detention orders due to some previous issues, but had an exemption to go to work at this construction site where the shooting actually took place. From an initial investigation, it looks to be that the shooting is in relation to his work. And in response to this shooting, plans to stream the match on a big screen in downtown Auckland were canceled, of course, out of respect for the victims, but also for safety reasons. The shooting is particularly rare as strict gun laws were actually put into place in 2019 after the mass shooting in Christchurch, where 50 people unfortunately lost their lives.
Yeah, that was a terrible tragedy. And this is as well.
Yeah. Right. So definitely our hearts and prayers go out to victims and bereaved families. But like in a country that you mentioned that 2019 one, that was also a huge one because even before that 2019 incident, you
Just
rarely hear of things
don't
like
hear
that
about
happening
it
in New
enough,
Zealand.
right.
So this is the most recent one. Well, Annie, thank you so much for filling us in on that as well as the rest of the news that you brought for us today.
Oh, I did want to add one thing.
Yes.
I forgot to mention yesterday that the minimum wage for next year was announced. I
Oh,
believe it was 9,861.
okay. Right. So
9860.
they have decided on that. That's good to know, right? Puts a cap on that, the news that you, of course, brought to us for that. Well, that'll do it for today's News Bites. Annie, have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, Annie.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's have a song. This is Super Shy by New Jeans.
I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy. And I wanna go out with you. Where you wanna go? Find a spot, just sit and talk, looking pretty. Follow me. 우리 둘이 나란히 보이지? 내 눈이 갑자기 빛나지? When you say I'm a dream. You don't even know my name, dear. You don't even know my name, dear. 누구보다도 I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine. make it mine. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make it mine, make it mine. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. 나 원래 말도 잘하고 그런데 왜 이런지 I don't like that. Something out about you, yeah, you're special and you know it, you're the top, babe. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make it mine, make it mine. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make it mine, make it mine. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. You don't even know my name, do ya? You don't even know my name, do ya? 누구보다도 You don't even know my name, do ya? You don't even know my name, do ya?
Oh, I do love a little bit of New Jeans.
네.
Super shy.
New song, Super Shy. Oh, I don't know why. Hit after hit with that band.
Such a great song. Mm-hmm. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, hi.
Hi, hi.
Everybody.
6:30 on the clock. You are tuned into Inside Out Busan on 90.5, 103.3 FM. Welcome to BEFM, 부산영어방송입니다. 반갑습니다.
반갑습니다.
I'm Laura McCluckey.
I'm Insu Shin. I'm sorry, I was supposed to take that and run with it.
But you know, sometimes we just don't care.
No, we do care, Laura.
No, I care. But clearly you don't care.
You just said we.
No, we as in the royal we, as in you.
아니요.
아니요?
We do care.
We do care.
We do care. We
Of
do
course
care
we
a
care.
lot, right?
We do indeed. How's your day been, Minsu?
Crazy. But in a nice way.
In a nice way.
Very busy, but the weather today was so nice that just no matter how hectic it was for me today, like just looking outside, I don't know, it gave me a very 시원해 feeling.
Yeah.
It's the sun shining and being outside most of the day today, it wasn't that hot. 좀 시원했어요, 사실. 네, 그늘에 있으면.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It was nice.
I can't complain.
I was in the heat though. I was walking. I walked from my house to Bexco and then back to my house and then back to BEFM.
That's quite a walk from Bexco to your place.
10,000 steps almost.
Oh, that's
All
like a whole
day.
day's worth.
Yeah, all day.
Already?
I mean, all day. And then I'm going to walk back as well, which is another like 1,500. Anyway, it was a really nice day. People were out, but it was very hot though.
아, 그래요?
It was a bit too hot. But it was still beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours and mine standard 기준 of hot, I think might be a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. 이 올 여름에는 그렇게 힘들다고 생각하진 않아요, 저는. Like just being outside, right? But the summer before that, I was complaining literally every day.
So, but I walk really fast.
어,
So
그래서 그렇죠.
I was sweaty.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
You know?
Mystery solved.
That's the thing. Anyway, speaking of weather, speaking of heat, let's look at the weather coming up for today and tomorrow. Right now in Busan, it's averaging 25 degrees Celsius. Morning lows of 23, afternoon highs of 29. So, we are expecting hot weather across Korea, of course, including Busan, with heat advisories in place. And it will feel like temperatures are slightly higher, of course, with the high humidity tomorrow. So wind chill temperature will rise by more than 33 degrees or take it up to 33 degrees. It says wind chill.
That's no wind chill at all.
That's not wind chill.
That's just hot wind.
heat. That's just like when you stand in front of the fan
네.
and it blows hot air into your face, like a fan in a restaurant.
I love it.
I love it. I kind of like that.
Oh, especially at
when it
restaurants?
smells good. Yeah. Anyway, 네 여러분 폭염주의보가 내려진 가운데 내일도 체감 기온이 33도 이상 오르겠습니다.
맞습니다.
조심하세요.
네. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on 동서 overpass from 낙동대교 towards the former Kaegum tollgate. Also congestion on 백양대로 from 당감 입구 3-way intersection going towards 진양 Junction. And then we have slow-moving traffic on 광남로 from 밀락교 going towards the 동방 5-way intersection. Everybody!
Drive safe.
네. 안전 운전하십시오.
안전운전하세요.
So Mr. E on our YouTube cleared up what those emoticons that he showed us or sent to us meant. He says it is the emoji for laughing. When Laura mentioned Minsu's hair, LOL.
웁습니다.
Mr. E 씨, Mr. E님.
이님.
네.
네.
Are you laughing at my hair too?
No.
He is.
Look at
Because he
my
put
hair.
the LOL at the end.
My hair is crazy town. Look at this.
I know, but nobody's. See, I didn't make fun of it. Nobody in our watchers aren't making fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's because they know better. I'm from Glasgow. You know?
it's because you think I'm a nice guy.
It's one of those
right,
things.
Mr. E? All right, I'll let it
one of those
slide.
things.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on with it.
Please.
Let's get on with it. It's time for the IOB 5분 상식. Yes, time for the IOB 5분 상식, getting you in the know of some of the most useful, trending, and need-to-know words and expressions out there. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이십니다.
맞습니다. 오늘은요 세계 식량안보 위기를 유발하는 흑해곡물협정, the Black Sea Grain Initiative. 이거는 무엇일까요? Good evening. This is Min-Soo Shin from IOB News. Breaking news today on the 흑해곡물협정, the Black Sea Grain Initiative. Joining us is Dr. Foodie, a renowned food expert. Dr. Foodie, tell us, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, hi, Min-Soo Shin. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show. The Black Sea Grain Initiative is simply fantastic. Did you know it promotes healthy eating with black grains?
Well, actually, I heard the initiative focuses on increasing grain exports from countries around the Black Sea region.
That's what I'm saying, yo. Black seeds and black grains, they gotta be superfoods, right? Full of magical powers.
Dr. Foodie, are you an actual doctor? There's nothing magical about that.
I'm the Dr. Foodie. Don't you believe me? The black seeds, man, the black grains like quinoa, black rice, it's the key to unlocking your healthier lifestyle.
That is correct, but that's not what we're focusing on right now. 흑해곡물협정, the Black Sea Grain Initiative, this could cause a global food crisis. It's a serious concern.
Oh no. I got confused. What happened? Tell me more details.
저기요, 박사님, 입장이 지금 바뀐 것 같은데요. Are you an actual doctor?
Not
That's
so
it for today,
much.
folks.
I am a doctor.
I should have known.
Dr. Love.
Should have known.
No, I'm not a
With a
doctor.
name like Dr. Foodie.
Listen, I don't make it up, all right? Don't
Yeah.
take this to the writer.
네, 근데 흑해곡물협정, the Black Sea Grain Initiative, it's an actual thing,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
tell us what exactly it is.
Actually, you know, as we always do, we like to make a little skit. But it's a very serious thing. It's a very serious thing indeed. The Black Sea Grain Initiative is a cooperation between Ukraine, Russia, and Kazakhstan to ensure the safe passage of grain export ships through the Black Sea region, which is a major grain producing area, for 120 days due to humanitarian reasons, of
네.
course. Now, it has allowed for the export of 32.9 million tons of food commodities, mostly corn and wheat, to 45 different countries across 3 continents. Now, the aim was to combat a global food crisis that was fueled in part by Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the Black Sea blockade.
Yeah, we're continuing to see fallout, right, from just the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. It was like basically the world's gas supply, right? And then other economic factors were affected because of this conflict. Now, what problems then does the Black Sea Grain Initiative currently face?
So recently, Russia actually has halted a wartime deal that allows grain to be sent from Ukraine to countries in Africa, in the Middle East, and also in Asia, where in certain regions, hunger is a growing issue and high food prices have pushed more people into poverty.
Now, the two countries, Ukraine and Russia, they're actually known as major global suppliers of things like wheat, barley, sunflower oil, and other affordable food products that many nations, especially developing nations, rely on, right? So with the ongoing conflict, just what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, what potential crisis could it trigger?
So the FAO, which is the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, said that this month 45 countries actually require external food sources. So also blocking grain exports from the Black Sea could cause grain prices to rise, particularly in countries like Egypt, Lebanon, Nigeria, other places as well, potentially driving millions into poverty, and if not poverty, food insecurity, and contributing to this global food crisis. So it's kind of like weaponization of food.
That's so weird to hear.
That's
Weaponization of food.
Awful.
Now, this is a way that, some people might be even using food as like a means to, get their initiatives across. So yeah, very concerning indeed, but need to know 흑해곡물협정, the Black Sea Grain Initiative. 이것은요, 우크라이나와 러시아가 인도적 차원에서 흑해를 지나는 곡물 수출 선박의 안전을 120일간 보장한다는 협정입니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래, 라디오.
네가 저번 주 심참인 것 같네.
22번 훈련병!
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
The Insider X.
The Insider X. I never get tired of that.
The Insider
Yeah,
X.
I like it every time.
And HK님 on purpose, he tries to make it very mysterious.
Yeah.
Spy-like.
He is mysterious.
A little villainy.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Right? Just a
Are you
little
a villain?
bit.
HK Neem, you're not a villain.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He's one of the good guys,
Good
Minsu.
guy, right?
Stop it with your
그런
haircut over
분위기를
there.
만들려고. I'm just saying he's trying to make that kind of 분위기 for our segment, right?
Really?
He's a hero. Just he encompasses all the characters
Okay.
that you would think of.
This is a weird conversation. Hi, HK Neem.
Hi, good to see you again.
Yes, how are you?
Very tired because nowadays, because of the heavy rain, we are
Yeah.
always in emergent situations. So
Oh, that's right.
I'm tired.
I'm sure almost every division and office of Busan City has been scrambling to keep everybody as safe as
Right.
possible during the monsoon season. So, yeah. Well, HK, thank you so much for all your work up to this point.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's still more to do, right?
Right, it's absolutely true that because last week so many people died in all of the Korea. So
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, definitely. So good to have you, HK, in the studio for today's Insider X. This is a segment where we get to kind of take our listeners behind the curtains to see what Busan City might be working on, because these are things that directly affects those people living here in our city, right? So we're going to get things started, as always, with today's story, shall we?
Yeah. 요즘 장마철이라 비가 많이 와서 안전사고가 정말 걱정이 됩니다. 특히 며칠 전에는 집중호우로 인해 안타까운 인명사고가 많이 발생했는데요. 부산시는 시민의 안전을 위해 어떤 대책을 세우고 있는지 궁금합니다.
Short and sweet, but an incredibly important story.
네.
Do you want to tell us a bit about it in English?
Yeah. As the rainy season has begun, heavy rain has poured down in Busan so often. Because of that, he really worried about safety issue. Especially a few days ago, so many people died because of heavy rain in Korea. Thus, he wondered what kind of policies city implement to guarantee the safety of citizens.
Yeah.
Very good question.
Yeah. So today I want to talk about city's policies related to guarantee the safety of citizens in this rainy season.
Right. So as Annie mentioned during today's news bites, she gave us an update on the search as well as investigations into how a lot of floods happen. Because HK, you said it too. Many people have passed away because of the heavy rain that we've seen these past couple of weeks, and I'm very sorry to hear that once again. Now, in the summer season, heavy rain is one of the most severe form of natural disasters for our country of Korea.
Yeah. I've been living here for 12 years, and specifically in the summer, it's something that I always worry about. Like, I love the rain, but only when everybody's safe.
Yeah.
And this kind of heavy rain, it just puts so much into question about safety because there's only so much you can prepare for, right? So it's definitely very difficult to prevent for natural disasters, but, the government can do something. As a citizen, as just a human being who lives here, the government, of course, has to do a lot of things to help people stay safe in these kind of emergency situations, right?
I absolutely agree about your comments that, the most important role of government is to protect citizens from any kinds of crisis. So it's absolutely necessary to set detailed plans to protect citizens, especially in this heavy rain season.
All right. So with HK Neem here in the studio for today's Insider X, we'll be covering what the city has plans and will be, carrying out to make sure that everybody is safe, especially during the heavy rain season and just their safety overall, right?
Yeah.
So let's dive right into today's story, HK Neem.
Yeah, then today I will introduce city's efforts to prevent any kind of accidents because of heavy rain. For this, city set a master plan of preventing natural disaster in summer in this May. To effectively deal with natural disaster, city divided this master plan into 3 stages: prevention, response, and restoration.
I like the sound of a master plan.
Yeah.
I feel confident already.
맞아요. So details, please.
In prevention stage, I will introduce 3 policies. First, city operated the hub site for urban flooding for the first time in Korea. In Korean, 부산시는 도시 침수 통합 정보 시스템을 전국 최초로 시범 운영합니다. You can easily find the information about flooding, current raining situation, evacuation route, current level of each river, etc. The rest of this site is safecity.busan.go.kr or just simply search 도시 침수 통합 정보 시스템 on the internet.
Okay, what's up second?
Second one is city installed safety facilities at vulnerable areas like manhole and semi-basement homes, etc. In Korean, 맨홀이나 반지하 등 취약 지역에 시는 안전 시설을 설치하고 있습니다. In case of manholes, city already installed safety facilities at 1,000 manholes to prevent any falling accidents.
Yeah, especially I want to say with so much rain and like puddles forming, sometimes it's really hard to see, right?
I saw a manhole recently that was like spouting water up out of it.
Yeah, 맞아요. 위험해요. It's good to know that the city does recognize that this is a concern, especially those that live in like the underground, like basement level homes, right? That's also a good, big concern. What's the last one?
Last one is city increased disaster prevention performance objectives. In Korean, 시는 방제 성능 목표 수치를 상향합니다. These objectives means it will be the standard of basic capacity for disaster prevention facility. Before this, these facilities could be deal with 105 millimeter of rain per hour, but city increased this standard to 114 millimeter per hour.
All right.
All 3 policies incredibly helpful,
Yeah.
I think, and especially just to prevent. I mean, we can't prevent natural disasters.
Yes.
They're going to happen. Climate change is real. Things are happening in the environment, but
Yeah.
we can help to protect against the kind of fallout of these natural disasters. So we can protect against flooding, especially, looking out for these vulnerable areas. Like you said, Minsu, like the Jia apartments or places that are prone to landslides, etc. Because, in emergency situations, it's very difficult to say this. However, the areas that are, more at risk are often the areas that are less economically affluent. Is that the right way to put it? So
Yeah.
it's in a lot of areas that happens. So you got to care for people first.
맞아요.
Care for the vulnerable
Right.
people of the society.
맞습니다. So dealing with natural disasters like the monsoon heavy rain period that we saw, prevention is going to be most important because once a natural disaster starts, right? Like you said, climate change, we can't stop it right now. The damage, if it gets rolling, will be so huge. And this is something that's directly connected to people's lives and their
Yeah.
safety. So that's why focusing on prevention, I think, is also very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, except these three policies, there are so many other policies as well to prevent any natural disaster. But it's really hard to 100% prevent any kinds of natural disaster, especially in summer.
But it does sound like the city is doing its best to make sure to prepare to be able to prevent, right? All right. So that is the prevention step. What is the next stage?
Next one is response stage. I will introduce two policies. Firstly, city checked vulnerable areas preemptively. In Korean, 시는 인명 피해 우려 지역을 선제적으로 점검하고 관리합니다. In June 25th, Busan City held an emergency inspection and checked and monitored 321 areas of risky areas like underground road, 지하차도, semi-basement homes, 반지하 가구, and established flood evacuation plans for residents. And next one is city conducts simulated training, setting extreme situations like over the disaster prevention performance objectives to fully prepared for any kinds of natural disaster. In Korean, 시는 방제 성능 목표를 초과하는 극한 상황을 가정한 강우 모의 훈련을 진행합니다.
See, I love this. I love both of these policies. You know, I mean, practice. There's no such thing as perfect, right? But practice makes progress, and practice allows us to become better at what we do. And the more familiar we are with any kind of processes, the better. And these extreme situations and practicing the response times, is a really good way to get people prepared for the actual natural disasters.
Right. So the checking and monitoring of vulnerable areas in advance, very much needed. Just making every plan, as much plan and preparation as it can for just any kind of situation that could come up,
Yeah.
right? So that's good to hear. All right. What's next?
Last one is restoration stage. Compared to prevention and response stage, in this stage, natural disaster is already happened. So it's not related to prevent or minimize the damage. But I believe it's also important as well because, to assist victims to easily recover from damage is also a very important part. So I will introduce two policies as well. Firstly, city will give 10 million won when someone died because of natural disaster. I know this money itself is not that much a big one, but yeah, compared to the so huge grief of bereaved family. But this one can be a minimal steps to help them. And second one is city increased the amount of subsidy to support restoration of damaged houses up to 20 million won than before. In Korean, 시는 피해 주택 복구를 위한 재난 지원금을 기존 대비 최대 2천만 원까지 상향해서 지급합니다. Yeah.
And, this stage is very important. We don't want to have to be in the restoration stage, but the truth is, the fact is that we have to also have this plan in place because, again, we've said it many times, natural disasters are going to happen.
Yeah.
So very important.
And because they're going to happen, right, it is necessary to help victims of natural disasters, right? So they have to think about damage as well as, especially pains, right? A lot of these families are going through because a lot of the times, it's very great. I guess fortunate if you have money saved up for a rainy day, but let's say that's not an option. You don't, right? So it's good to hear that the city can assist when it comes to financial support to help them restart, recover, their lives.
Right.
And actually, money's not everything. But it is a start, and it is something there that can help alleviate another burden in that
맞아요.
situation.
As you can see, city tried many policies to prevent any damages from natural disaster. But as you can see from last month, it's really hard to perfectly prevent it. So I sincerely ask all listeners and citizens to participate together to prevent any damages from natural disaster.
Yeah.
And I heard, especially in this weekend, we also have a very heavy rain.
Another bout of rain.
Yes, so please participate together to prevent any damages from
Yeah.
heavy rain.
Be very careful, everybody.
맞아요. Just being as prepared as you can. That's probably most important.
Yeah.
If citizens do that along with Busan City, and it looks like Busan City is with their very detailed master plan that they have 3 stages. You mentioned prevention, response, and restoration. And within those 3 stages, a very laid out, right, detailed plan on how to carry out each stage. So as HK님 says, as we are, we have more rain coming up. It's best to prepare, but also it's good to 너무 든든한 것 같아요. Just to know that Busan City will help just in case, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's so, I remember, I don't know how many years ago, but I always think this. Imagine how much work, effort, cooperation, etc., goes into actually running a city.
Yeah.
And there's always I love this segment because we get to hear about so many different kinds of policies, so many different kinds of programs, and what the city is really doing behind the scenes, because we don't get to see that much. What we get to see is kind of things on the news, or we get to see events that are being held, but we don't get to see all of the other things that are going on behind the scenes. So just big love, big shout out to everybody at City Hall and all the city workers for just coming together, cooperating, and making Busan a very safe place to be.
맞습니다.
And really appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
why. No, that's why it's a great place to live, right?
Definitely, I agree. Real quick, HK님, before you go, we have 토끼님 on our YouTube saying Insider X and guest HK씨 딱 어울려요. Thank you for always delivering important information. Thumbs up. And 토끼님 continue on saying 로라 씨가 머리 얘기해서 계속 세 분 헤어스타일만 보임. 우리 헤어스타일만 보고 있다. You've been paying attention to the news that HK님 brought, right, 토끼님?
My hair.
네. 그리고 우리 가부자고님. Upon reading 토끼님's message saying Mr. Bez's cowlick hairstyle is hip. Very hip.
맛있어.
멋있어. Don't go tasting people's hairstyles, Laura.
I love Mr. Bay's shy smile. lol. 인류 애충전소님.
네. HK님, you always have fans on our show.
아유, 고맙습니다.
네.
맞아요. Where's our fans?
Yeah.
없어.
괜찮아요. 게스트 중요하니까.
게스트 중요하죠.
네.
맞아요.
HK님.
Don't say yes. You're agreeing with us.
the most important.
HK님, thank you so much. We'll see you back here next week, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, HK님. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
All right, it's time for us to say goodbye for the first half of the show, but don't go anywhere because who's coming up?
Adele.
It's Adele.
It's Adele.
With Chasing Pavements. We'll see you at 7.
Don't need to think it over. If I'm wrong, I am right. Don't need to look no further. This ain't last. I know this is love. But if I tell the world, I'll never say enough, 'cause it was not said to you. And that's exactly what I need to do if I end up with you. Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? Or would it be a waste, even if I knew my best? Should I leave it there? Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? I build myself up and fly around in circles, waiting as my heart drops and my back begins to tingle finally. Could this be it all? Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? Or would it be a waste, even if I knew my best? Should I leave it there? Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements?
BFM is having a mid-season special revamp. We've prepared more diverse, informative, and fun content, so don't miss out and stay tuned. Get ready to rev up your mornings from Monday to Friday, 9 to 10, with our brand new music show, The Boombox. You can join us from noon to 2 p.m. for your favorite K-pop hits at K-pop Fiesta, airing Monday to Saturday. And every Tuesday through Saturday, Morning Groove will keep you company from 1 to 3 a.m. BFM appreciates your continued love and support as we strive to bring you the most entertaining and informative programming. You can visit bfm.or.kr for more details.
안녕하세요. 전국민 안전 캠페인 홍보대사 오나라입니다. 서두르다가 안전사고 겪은 분들 많죠? 그래서 빨리빨리 하기 전에 5초만 안전습관 캠페인을 시작합니다. 에스컬레이터로 뛰어들기 전에 5초만, 멈춘 후에 손잡이 꼭 잡고 타기, 슬금슬금 우회전하기 전에 5초만, 확실히 멈추고 주의 살피기, 이륜차 타기 전에 5초만, 헬멧 확인하고 출발하기. 빨리빨리 하기 전에 5초만 멈추면 모두의 안전이 계속됩니다. 다 함께 시작해볼까요? 나부터 5초만.
5초만 5초만
공익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 인사이드 아웃 부산.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us here for Inside Out Busan. It's the second half of the show, the quiet hour, as they say.
Liar. Pants on fire.
As they say. I don't think we ever said that. We never claimed that. Just before we get into On the Mic, I'm Laura McCluckey.
And I'm Minsu Shin.
We got a couple of messages coming in. Ms. Neem texting in saying, because we're asking, where was the last place you've been, or where was the last place you were stamped on your passport, or where was the first place? Ms. Neem says, the first destination on my passport was Japan, and most recently, Taiwan. I want to go to Europe, but I'm scared because I saw blah, blah, blah. on 너튜브. 그것도 뭐예요?
소매치기 영상. So basically pickpocketing.
아, 소매치기.
Yeah. I mean, wherever tourists flock, there's bound to be
Pickpockets everywhere.
pickpockets.
Just have your valuables in a bum bag. Not only will you be safe, but you will look super cool.
I've never heard it as a bum bag before.
A bum bag.
A fanny pack, you mean,
You
right?
can't say that in Scotland. That's a swear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a swear in Scotland.
Excuse
FYI.
my French.
Well, rude.
Nah.
Rude. I can't believe you said that on the radio, Mincy. How dare you?
Radio in Korea, right?
Ah, yes. And we've got more messages coming in as well, but we're going to leave those for a moment while we get into On the Mic, where our reporters head out into the world and interview our listeners. So let's see who's on the mic today.
안녕하세요, 올리비아입니다. 오늘은 뭐든지 잘 만드는 분을 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
저는 지금 건축 일을 하고 있는 30대 초반 권영현이라고 합니다.
반갑습니다. 수식어를 뭐든지 잘 만드는 사람이라고 해주셨거든요. 뭘 잘 만드시는 거죠?
일단 만드는 거 자체를 일단 좋아하고요. 취미도 목공이라던가 뭐 작게는 휴직화 이런 것도 만드는 거 좋아하고 크게는 이제 제가 하는 일도 건물을 만드는 거다 보니까 종합적으로 제가 뭔가 만드는 거 좋아하는 사람인 것 같아요.
그럼 이때까지 내가 살아오면서 만들었던 것들 중에서 이것만큼은 진짜 잘 만든 거다 라고 생각하는 게 있을까요?
몇 가지 떠오르긴 하는데 가장 큰 것 중에 하나는 진짜 오래 노력을 한 게 있거든요. 아버지한테 선물해드린 자그마한 협탁이 하나 있어요. 협탁이라 해서 간단할 수 있지만 뭐 해링본 무늬도 막 들어가고 해링본 무늬라 해가지고 이제 요새 장판 이런 거 지그재그 모양으로 모양이 있어요. 그거 무늬도 들어가고 마감도 엄청 나무로만 부자재 없이 그렇게 만들다 보니까 시간이 엄청 오래 걸리고 정성이 많이 들어간 협탁이 아닌데 선물해드린 그 협탁이 생각이 나네요.
작업하는데 얼마나 걸렸어요?
그거는 한 달 반 걸린 것 같아요.
뭐든지 잘 만든다고 하셨잖아요. 하셨잖아요. 제 얼굴도 좀 다시 만들어주시면 안 돼요?
보통 제가 할 수 있는 거는 나무, 콘크리트 이 정도일 것 같아요. 얼굴은
제 얼굴은 답이 안 나오나요?
아니요. 답이 안 나온다니요. 지금 이미 완성됐다. 더 할 게 없다.
감사합니다. 어떻게 지금 하는 일을 하게 됐을까요?
원래 아버지께서 태어나기도 전부터 이제 건축 건설업을 하셨는데 이쪽에는 시선을 두고 있지 않고 있다가 우연한 기회로 아버지가 같이 하게 돼가지고 아버지를 통해서 들어왔지만 이제는 좀 아버지보다 더 잘하고 싶어서 욕심이 많이 나는 그런 과정에 있습니다.
여러 가지 분야가 있잖아요.
기본적인 일은 설비 쪽으로 별다방을 짓는 일은 관리나 일하시는 분들 이렇게 케어해드리는 이런 거 주로 하고 있고 그런 설비 쪽은 직접 아버지랑 둘이서도 일하고 있어요. 최근에까지 했던 거는 소장님이라고 이제 현장마다 담당하시는 분이 계세요. 제가 소장을 아직 할 짬은 아직 안 돼서 그걸 위해서 지금 노력을 많이 하고 있기도 하고 소장님을 도와서 현장에 필요한 게 있으면 뭐 업체에 연락하는 것도 있고 현장에 보안이 필요할 것 같다거나 자재가 있어야 시간을 맞출 수 있겠다 이런 것들은 이제 소장님이랑 같이 해서 관리하는
관리 일이.
네, 별다방 쪽에서는 이제 관리 일을 하고 있고 아버지랑 하는 이제 업무는 이제 현장 일을 하고 있죠.
그 일을 하면서 정말 뿌듯하고 보람됐던 순간은 언제였어요?
지속적으로 오는 것 같아요. 예를 들면 많이 돌아다니다 보면 일하는 곳들이 다 보이잖아요. 언제 했던 건물이 여기 다 지어져서 뭐 운영되고 있다던가 뭐 이런 걸 보고 나면 지나갈 때마다 소소한 보람을 좀 느끼는 것 같아요.
저거 내가 그때 지워질 때 내가 관리하고 했었는데.
그리고 첫 번째 제가 관리 맡았던 현장은 아직도 좀 잊혀지진 않아요. 엄청 열심히 했거든요. 처음이기도 했고 열심히 하려고도 했고 하다 보니까 좀 정이 많이 갔던 곳이 있어요.
그게 의미가 있을 것 같아요. 그 대지에 아무것도 없던 곳에서 뭔가 하나하나가 만들어져서 하는 그런 느낌?
삼자가 보면 그냥 없던 곳에서 뚝 생기는 느낌일 텐데 당사자의 입장으로서는 천천히 하나하나씩 쌓아 올린 거거든요. 그래서 그런 거 보면 뿌듯함도 들긴 하죠. 건물을 층별로 올리는 것도 있고 층마다 올라가도 사실 뿌듯하긴 해요. 왜냐면 생각보다 큰 의미를 가지기도 하고.
위험한 순간이나 이런 건 없어요?
위험한 순간 엄청 많죠. 이게 사실 일하시다가 다치시는 분도 굉장히 많고 정말 안타깝지만 이제 돌아가신 분도 좀 계시고 그런 것도 이제 관리를 좀 해야 돼요. 현장 가서 정말 잘 안 쓰시거든요. 이렇게
안전모.
네, 안 쓰시는 분들이 많아요. 꼭 쓰시라고 말씀도 드려야 되고 떨어질 낙상 사고를 대비할 공간도 저희가 관리하면서도 만들어야 되고 되게 조심해야 됩니다. 네, 진짜 위험해서.
근데 제가 알고 있기로는 영현 씨가 지금 이 일을 하기 전에 굉장히 다양한 일들을 해왔다고 알고 있어요.
막 엄청 진지하게 임했던 거라기보다 진짜 생존을 위해서 싸웠던 과정 중에 했던 일들인데 성인이 되고부터 정육점 알바도 해봤고 푸드트럭도 해봤고 또 우연한 기회로 기획일도 하게 돼가지고 기획도 종류가 많으니까 뭐 캠프 기획, 공연 기획, 뭐 강연 기획, 기획일도 해봤고 영업도 한번 해봤고요. 일단 당장 떠오른 건 이 정도 되겠네요.
머릿속에 내가 뭔가를 해야지라고 생각은 가지고 있는데 막상 실천에 옮기지 못하는 분들이 굉장히 많거든요. 우리 주변에. 여러 가지 일들을 해오셨잖아요. 실행시킬 수 있었던 힘은 뭐였을까요?
제가 최근에 좀 반성하고 있는 일이기도 한데 반성한다기보다 문득 깨달았다고 해야 될까요? 제가 굉장히 하고 싶은 거 무조건 해야 되고 할 수 있으면 당장 시작해야 되는 걸 되게 중요하게 생각하는 사람이었는데 최근엔 좀 안 그랬던 거를 어떤 일을 통해서 좀 깨닫게 됐어요. 그때부터 이제 다짐했던 게 뭔가를 하고자 할 때 뛰어내리는 개구리가 되자.
뛰어내리는 게 좋은 거예요?
저한테 도전의 의미였죠. 할까 말까 할 때는 일단은 하고 보자. 할 수 있었던 것 같아요. 다. 네.
좋아하는 영어 단어가 있어요?
트리? 나무잖아요. 뭔가 저를 되게 잘 표현할 수 있는 표현이기도 한 것 같고 제가 또 추구하는 가치관이 본질이거든요. 본질의 본자에도 나무가 들어가고 트리로.
마지막으로 저희 BEFM 부산 영어방송 청취자분들에게 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
이 시대를 살면서 느낀 점 중에 하나가 휩쓸리기 좋은 환경인 것 같아요. 자기만의 확고한 기준을 다들 가지셨으면 좋겠고 다른 사람의 그 확고한 기준도 존중하고 자기도 존중하는 사람들이 됐으면 좋겠어요. 서로 배려하고 존중해주는 사회가 됐으면 좋겠습니다. 화이팅!
Fighting!
Thank you so much to our reporter Olivia and today's guest for On the Mic, Mr. Kwon Young-hyun Nim. He is working for a local construction company, but his work is also kind of like his passion, his hobby, because he says he enjoys carpentry actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
네. 목공일, right? Kind of like making furniture, maybe just fixing things around the house.
My grandfather was a carpenter.
Really?
Yeah, he was like the head of the Forestry Commission in Scotland, but he was also a carpenter. So he loved trees, planted trees all over the place. But he also loved to make things with trees.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love that. I love the smell of wood.
I feel like it's
making
like
things by
a
hand.
it's like very it's a lost art these days.
It's a proper meditation. Like it's a meditative process. Yeah.
And he's in this because I feel like his dad had a big part in it because his dad is also in the construction business. They work together, father and son, but he says he strives to outdo his pops.
He always wants to do better than his dad.
맞아요. But not like in a bad way. It was like, oh, I'm gonna show him. But you always want to like. I feel like he wants to continue that, this passion that it seems like his dad has too. When it comes to work, but he just wants to have that continue on into his life as well.
Absolutely. And he says he feels really proud when he sees these buildings that he's, been a part of either overseeing or constructing, etc.
I know.
And at the end there.
Yeah.
He was like, I love the word tree.
맞아요.
Because he worked with trees. He's
Right.
a carpenter, right?
Because he believes that, it's like the essence of things is crucial for everything he does, right? And also, the Chinese character for essence also incorporates the meaning of wood, of trees.
There you go.
What is your spirit plant?
What? Who are you? My spirit plant.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like what plant or like, shrubbery, greenery do you relate to?
I relate to everything. I relate to everything green.
Yeah.
Not the carnivorous ones. Don't like them.
Carnivorous as in like
Venus
the fly traps?
I love watching them and I think it's fantastic and fascinating, but I don't want them in my house. A little bit too creepy for me. Also, I don't want the ones that like melt stuff with their acidic saliva.
Venus flytraps do that.
They also do that, but there's ones that are just like open. The fly trap at least closes its mouth.
Okay.
But anyway, what do I have an affinity for? I don't know, just trees in general.
Yeah.
Like especially pine trees. There's a lot of pine trees in Scotland. Like, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Evergreen trees.
I wasn't expecting an actual answer for that
Really?
question.
Oh.
It just popped into my head.
I'm a hippie and I'm tending to my garden every day,
No, right? Mr. Kwon Young-hyun-님, I think best of luck to you as you continue your work with your father.
Yeah.
And, I do hope that you do outdo him. Continue on that legacy, right? All right, and that was today's On the Mic.
Thank you so much for that lovely interview. And we've got a lot of people texting in on the YouTube. Shall we read this thread or shall we just let these 개구쟁이들 not?
아니에요. Because I think we need to answer their curiosities.
Okay.
Right? Especially 인류의 충전소님's curiosity.
They said, why are they flirting with each other? Lol. And I said, aren't they just being friendly?
Yeah.
And Inlunim said, I think they will go out for a date soon. JB님, late join after hard work. Hi there.
JB님 고생했습니다. Thank you so much for coming to us after your hard work. But 충전소님, I don't know. To me, it just sounded like they were being friendly.
Just a friendly interview.
But you never know where love happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's ask Olivia. I'll text her. I'll find out. Anyway.
네. But 인류의 충전소님 also says, my dream after retirement is being a fine carpenter.
A fine carpenter.
Yeah.
I love that. I love when people put fine in front of things. It's a great adjective.
맞아요.
Oh, he is a fine tailor.
Fine.
It's not just like fine as in, oh, that's fine, but it's like fine as in
A fine butcher.
Like really lovely. Where is the love? Love is everywhere, JB Neem.
And we just gave you love.
Yeah. A fine butcher.
Yeah.
A fine butcher?
Why not?
Oh, he's a fine butcher.
He is, right? Cuts the best of meats.
What?
That's what a butcher does.
It's true.
And that was today's On the Mic.
Yeah. Let's have a song.
네.
What are we going to listen to?
KT Tunstall, and I was asking you because I was like, what's that song that goes woohoo?
Yeah.
And you answered my question.
And I knew.
네. KT Tunstall's Black Horse and the Cherry Tree. I never would have got this if it was just by
It's a
myself.
good
Thank
one.
you, Laura. Enjoy. We'll be back.
2, 3, 4. Ooh. Ooh. Well, my heart knows it better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. Ooh. Ooh. I came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Ooh. Ooh. I felt a little fear upon my back. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking. Ooh. Ooh. But the big black horse said, look this way. He said, hey, that day, will you marry me? Ooh. Ooh. But I said, no, no, no. You're not the one for me. No, 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 no. I said no, no. You're not the one for me. Ooh. And my heart hit a problem in the early hours, so stopped it dead for a beat or two. Ooh. Ooh. But I cut some cord and I shouldn't have done it, and it won't forgive me after all these years. Ooh. So I sent it to a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Ooh. Ooh. Now I won't come back cause it's all so happy, and now I got a hole for the world to see. Ooh. And it said no, 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 no. Said no, no, you're not the one for me. No, 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 no. Said no, no, you're not the one for me. Ooh. You're not the one for me. Ooh, no, 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 no. Ooh, no, no. Ooh, no, no. You're not the one for me. Big black house and a cherry tree. I can't quite get that cause my heart forsaken me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big black house and a cherry tree. I can't quite get that cause my heart forsaken me.
Ah, I love it. Katie Tunstall, Big Black Horse and the Cherry Tree. You know, she's from Scotland.
Oh, yeah, she
Tunstall.
is.
Ooh, that was rough. That was rough. Ooh.
Let me do it again.
Minsu.
Woohoo. There you go. All right. A little better.
Was it better? I don't know. Let's just forget that ever happened. Let's scratch
There.
that from our memories forever.
Listeners, look into this pen.
Look
I'm gonna do
into
the Men in
this-
Black.
This flash.
Yeah, look it right
just
here, right?
Make sure you never
Mind
remember that.
zapper.
That was special.
Nah,
A woohoo.
it happens. Stop
does.
showing off.
It does.
Stop showing off.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us. 7:15 on the clock. It is, of course, Inside Out Busan on 90.5 and 103.3 FM. Welcome to BEFM. 부산영어방송입니다. 반갑습니다.
반갑습니다. 거기는 로라고요?
네, 거기는 민수지.
맞습니다. 민수 뭐?
민수지.
민수죠. 민수제.
민수제.
민수제. 네, 맞아요.
부산이잖아.
민수입니다. Hello to everybody on our radio. Hello to everybody on our YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Right.
lots of song requests coming in this evening.
Oh, JB님, you were sending a song request. I thought you were
Where is
actually
the
asking us, where is the love?
The love is here in the studio, but also we can play that for you, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
we can. We'll get to
Vince
it.
is on the decks.
Nah.
On the decks.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Sure, why not?
What do we call it before? board?
The board. Vince is on
Yeah.
the board.
Yeah.
On the controls.
Oh, I like that. I'm on the board.
You're on the board.
I am on the board. You're fired.
You fired.
Yeah.
Let's get to the weather.
Please.
Before we digress any further. It's currently 25 degrees Celsius here in Busan on average. Of course, that varies depending on where you are. A morning low of 22 degrees tomorrow morning. Afternoon highs of 29. It will be hot tomorrow. And many areas throughout the country have been under a heat wave advisory. Busan will also experience high temperatures this evening and also into tomorrow as well. So it is advised that you stay cool indoors, schedule your outdoor activities carefully, and be aware of heat-related illnesses. 부산도 오늘과 내일 무더운 날씨를 보이겠습니다. 온열 질환에 주의하세요. 조심하세요.
조심하십시오. When it comes to our traffic, congestion on 충렬대로 from Allak Underpass going towards Allak-Tranche three-way intersection. There's also congestion on Mandok대로 from Mandok Songdang going towards Mandok Junction. Slow-moving traffic on Pyeonglo from Haedong Junction going towards Kumsa Interchange. Everybody,
Drive safe.
부탁드릴게요.
Yes.
제발요.
제발. All right.
We might have hit a few nerves for JB님.
Why?
Because JB님's saying, get that song request, Black Eyed Peas, Where's the Love? And he says, I might find love.
But then not even like a serious thing, like a crying, laughing emoji.
Yeah.
Why is that so funny and sad?
It's like a 우픈 emoji.
우픈.
네, emoji.
Why the 우픈 emoji, JB님?
Yeah.
Do you not have love?
He's happy to be with us. He's sad that he's with us.
The love is here, JB님. The love is here.
Rather be with somebody else, eh? JB we understand.
Rude.
We understand.
If you want us to hook you up with somebody, please do send in a message.
We do that now too.
We do that. We do that all the time. 샵 9050 89050 and tell us, what kind of person you're looking for. We'll give a public plea to our listeners.
우리 언제부터 이런 걸 했어요?
몇 번 했어요.
Yeah. We do everything.
We do it with Gina.
Yeah.
Remember? We did it. We did it with Gina.
맞아요.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah. You can receive our services in that regard as well. 네.
Exactly. Anyway, let's immediately start this conversation. Absolute nonsense.
네.
It's time for 마음톡톡. 오정아의 마음톡톡.
Mind Talk with resident therapist Miss Oh Jung-ah with us here in the building. 원장님 안녕하십니까?
안녕하세요.
Hi.
This is Oh Jung-ah from Chicago Therapeutic Center, Chicago 심신치유 Center. I'm glad to be here today.
환영합니다.
환영합니다. We're glad you're with us as well.
I love
right?
you said she's in the building.
Yeah.
She's not right here in the studio.
Do I lie?
No, I mean that's true.
She is in the building?
Yeah.
That's in... Wait, no. She's in the studio that's in the building,
Yes,
right?
it's true. It's true. It's just strange.
네, 원장님, thank you so much for joining us once again. 원장님, 들어오는 순간부터 I feel like me and Laura were readying our hearts and our minds to be soothed a little bit. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need therapy.
Or like I'm kind of afraid that, aspects of myself that I don't want to be seen, I don't want to be put in light in public kind of gets brought up.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Because 원장님, we talked yesterday, we talked about therapy in general during your me time, how it's very important these days, right? A lot of people are getting therapy. 근데 저는 사실 이런 상담 치료나 이런 거 제대로 받아본 적 한 번도 없거든요. Yeah.
네네.
But that's why we had this segment that's very important. So a little bit, 저도 뭐 상담 치료 받으면서 I think it's good for our listeners to know how therapy, just talking it out is very important.
Therapy is very important.
네. So, excuse me.
Okay.
I swallowed wrong. 원장님, let's get to today. What do you have for us?
So when it comes to summer, people are interested in losing weight, including me. I like to focus on dieting. But before we get into today's story, I want to go over a couple of terms first. The primary definition of diet means food and drink regularly consumed or daily nourishment. For example, a person's diet consists of protein, vegetables, fruits, dairy, and grains. The second definition of diet, going a diet or dieting, means eating and drinking less in order to lose one's weight.
And it's important to make those distinctions. And I think something that is always interesting to me is that humans are really the only species that go on a diet.
Yeah.
Every other species has a diet, and we also have a diet, but we go on a diet.
Yeah.
And I think that tells us a lot about,
Because humans are the only living things that have an idea of what I guess what we're supposed to
aesthetics
look like. Yeah, aesthetics.
Really?
What we should look like. I guess
don't know.
because of what society says.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe. Anyway.
Yeah, so we're going to focus on, as 원장님 said, diet. I feel like body image can kind of play into today's theme too. So as always, what are we going to start out with, 원장님?
Yeah, so let's listen to today's story first.
I'm a huge K-pop idol fan and I admire girl group members' slim figures and I want to look like them. I began following an extreme diet that promised rapid weight loss. As time went on, I noticed severe fatigue, dizziness, and a decline in my overall health. My friends and family expressed concerns about my health and well-being, but I'd like to continue to pursue my goal of becoming skinny. Is this a problem?
I feel like this is such a
common
thing, especially here in Korea. 맞아요. Trying to look like an idol is huge, especially amongst the younger generation. Right?
That's true. Let's refer to this writer as Sarah. It sounds like Sarah's desire to look like an idol singer had led her to an extreme diet. Even though she knows the negative impact on her health, it's hard for her to stop dieting. So if I remember it correctly, Laura, you mentioned previously you had negative body image when you were younger. So do you mind sharing your story with us?
Sure, yeah. First of all, I just want to say that our 원장님 asked me before we went on air, is it okay if I ask you about your personal story? And my answer is always yes, because I think it's so important that these kind of topics are not hidden away, and a lot of people are not comfortable talking about it, but I think, I feel very privileged to have a platform, aka they've let me in front of a microphone. More fool them. But I think it's important for me personally to be able to talk about these kind of mental health issues. And so when I was younger, I had, everybody has issues in their past, in their childhood, but then I had a very abusive boyfriend. And so because of that and because of some of the issues in our relationship, he was very cruel to me about my weight. And so I started to develop this body dysmorphia, basically, which then led to an eating disorder. And for the longest time, I was punishing my body through food and exercise. See, now I love my body with food and exercise. I do things for my health, for my well-being, for my mental health, physical health, whatever. But for a very long time, I would punish my body through food and through exercise, extreme exercise, etc. And I used to be really young and really skinny and a dancer and a gymnast. And this relationship was, this was a turning point of me thinking that I wasn't good enough, that, that beauty was only to be found in a certain aesthetic. So, really, really difficult. Terrible time.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Must have been
Thank
tough.
you for sharing.
Yeah,
sure.
So, Minsu, have you experienced any struggles with your self-body image?
I mean, I'll be honest, nothing like what Laura went through, but up to college, I didn't really care. I guess I didn't put too much importance on that. I didn't really care how people saw me or, how I saw people in that regard. But it's coming here to Korea that I realized that I focus a little bit more, right? And you could tell, right? No. Korea has a notion that, you should be skinny. You should be, specifically for guys, you should be tall too, right? So, and tight is something obviously I can't physically change, but I was taking advice from people, on what styles and what fits to wear to make it seem like I'm taller than I really am. So that's some stuff I was considering for the first time in my life. Right? So, it's something that I picked up here in Korea. I mean, I do it less these days, as you can tell, right?
You're so handsome. Stop putting yourself down. Stop it.
그런데, it's something that, me too. Honestly, it has crossed my mind a couple times.
Yeah.
원장님, what about you? You mind sharing?
Right, sure. For me, I was really skinny throughout my teens and 20s. I didn't look healthy, so people made negative comments on my body. And so no matter how much I ate, I couldn't gain weight back then. So when I reached my 30s, I lived in the US, and the type of food I ate changed. So I gained more weight, and which made me look much healthier now.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting? And this isn't just in Korea, because I also had an experience when I was pregnant with my first son. I was very sick through that pregnancy, and I couldn't physically keep things down. And this is after coming out of an eating disorder, but I wanted to eat more, but my body physically couldn't eat so much. So it was like this strange kind of reaction my body was having. Anyway, and I was very, very thin still during my pregnancy. Healthy baby, by the way. But I was just and same for this pregnancy, this previous one, right? I was still exercising, but I was very slim. And I got called names in fun because I was thin and pregnant. And people like grabbing my wrist, like, how are you so skinny?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you have no idea what damage you're doing to me by those comments. So I think it's surprising to me how people think it's okay to comment on other people's weight, appearance, because you never know what kind of damage is being done.
Right.
And you never know that person's situation, you know?
Right, that's
Cheeky.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's true. So have you heard of pro-ana?
Yes.
Pro-ana.
So
pro-ana.
한국말로는 프로-아나라고 표현을 하는데요.
네.
The term pro-ana is a combination of pro, meaning is in favor or supportive of, and
네.
anorexia referring to anorexia nervosa, the 신경성 식욕 부진증 아니면 이제 거식증이라고도 얘기를 하죠. It signifies the phenomenon of the advocating for or supporting the pursuit of anorexia and refusing treatment for eating disorders. It's a common term for Generation MZ now.
It's really 심각해요. It's really bad.
That's really bad.
There's internet forums saying, like, giving tips and tricks for young women and young men to reduce their calories and offering up, like, suggestions for powdered soups. So
Yeah.
have this powdered soup, it's only 4 calories.
Yeah.
Just drink 2 of these a day and you'll be fine. Like, it's very dangerous.
Right.
And even taking that term anorexia, which is I don't know. I don't know what the what the waters are like these days, but back then, like for me and for you, I'm sure Laura, like anorexia was this thing that was very serious.
Serious, yes.
Yeah, it could lead to very like damaging effects on the body, even
could
death
die.
sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, from it. But to be pro anorexia,
Yeah.
I would never imagine this thing being such like a thing.
Yeah, oh, it's really bad. And you know that thinspiration, that hashtag thinspiration, that's part of the pro-ana movement. Yeah.
So the Korean Journal of Public Health Association conducted a body image survey among 30,000 female teenagers in 2022, and it was found that 41.4% of them perceived themselves as overweight compared to their actual body size.
Yeah, that's very sad.
Yeah.
Young women get a lot, especially young women, get a lot of pressure from media and society to look a certain way.
Right. As we can see from the survey result, many female teenagers may perceive themselves as overweight or unattractive even when they are at a healthy weight. This distorted body image can lead to negative self-esteem and dissatisfaction and preoccupation with appearance.
Yeah. Wojam, have you personally had dealt with clients that were dealing with this?
Yes, I have one of clients that I remember. She was a high school student. Her case was similar to Sarah's story. She's 167 centimeters tall and used to weigh 70 kilograms. When I met her, she weighed 55 kilograms, but wanted to be 45. So it seemed to me she was already at a healthy weight. However, she was trying hard to lose more weight. So it was a difficult case because she wanted to do extreme dieting regardless of her health and didn't want to change her diet. So I applied art therapy and hypnosis to her. And then through the process, she revealed her experiences of bullying by her friends and other people due to her weight when she was in elementary school. So after addressing her unresolved emotional issues related to her body image, she was able to eat more than before and exercise regularly.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness, she recovered like that,
Yeah.
right? But to have that notion and 167 centimeters tall, that's pretty tall. I want to say on the tall side, right? But then to be 45,
45 kilos, that's way too little.
unhealthy.
But it gets to a point, and just speaking from my own personal experience, so what I was going through through was bulimia and anorexia type 2. Like there was a subtype.
right.
And so I was very thin, but I was also bulimic. So I would blah, blah. Anyway, not to go into the full details, but it got to a point where I was scared to eat certain foods for things like rice. It would give me huge anxiety if somebody offered me rice or pasta or like, let's have a can of beer. And it was like, like panic, like real panic. So it's such a complex mental health disorder. And it's not like she wants to be 45 kilos because she thinks that'll be the end of her problems. It's just like, I need to be this weight. And it's not something you can control really. It takes a control of you.
맞아요.
It controls you.
So it's pretty serious. You know, anybody out there that, you know, might know somebody that's going through something like this, or maybe you yourself, right? So, 원장님, I guess, you know, what are some things to keep in mind, or maybe like, you know, because I know you always take us through these questions that we always ask ourselves, right?
So here are some questions for Sarah to help her to better understand her emotions and deeper level and the challenges of self-body image. One, what are the reasons behind my desire to have a skinny body? 내가 마른 몸매를 가지려고 하는 숨겨진 이유들은 무엇인가? Two, have I considered the long-term result of pursuing extreme dieting physically, mentally, and psychologically? 극단적인 다이어트를 추구함으로써 장기적으로 나의 신체적, 정신적, 심리적으로 어떤 결과를 가져올지 고려해 본 적이 있는가? Three, do I define a beautiful body? How do I define the beautiful body? 나는 아름다운 몸매를 어떻게 정의를 하고 있는가? Four, are there alternative approaches to achieving a healthy and balanced diet? 건강하고 균형 잡힌 식단으로 대체할 접근 방식들이 있는가? By asking yourself these questions, you can reflect on how you gauge the importance of body image and a healthy weight in your life, and then gain a deeper understanding of your feelings and circumstances.
Yeah, because I mean, this is something you can control with your weight, but it stems from something much deeper.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, specifically focusing on Sarah, right, because that was today's story that you share with us. Is there anything that Sarah can try, 원장님?
Yeah, I'd like to suggest some things that Sarah or our listeners in a similar situation can try. Regardless of an idol singer's body, shape, or weight, think about how you perceive your body. You may have some experiences of bad comments related to your physique. If you harbor any negative emotions from these moments, you should let them go. For example, you could talk about it with your trusted friends, write about or draw your emotions. In addition, try to shift your mindset towards body acceptance and self-love, and write down some positive things about yourself.
Yeah, reframing how you see your body is really tough. But yeah, very important.
맞습니다. What else can Sarah do?
Right. Especially for teenagers, they are influenced by their peers. So if you are hang out with the friends who are pro-ana or practicing unhealthy dieting, you might consider reducing time with them because they are probably obsessed with distorted self-body images and making comments on their own bodies or other people's bodies. Also, try to hang out with the friends who have a positive self-body image.
Yeah.
So I have a question though, because there's things that Sarah can consider, and of course, if Sarah is a little bit older and not with this peer pressure so much, and you know, there's things to do, but it's only when you're ready for help that you can help yourself. So if you are, like, for example, you have a teenage daughter or a teenage son who's starting to show signs of an eating disorder, what would a parent do or a concerned friend in that situation?
So I think, you know, the thing is that when I met the client I talked about
The teacher.
earlier, she her mom was give her a lot of pressure. You need to eat more, and also. She was always checking her weight, and also her mom says, "Don't check your, weight," kind of things. So her mom was kind of like, observing her all the time, 24 hours, and then that gave her a lot of pressure, and then so that's why she didn't want to talk her mom about it. So
엄마는 도와주려고 했는데 the students took her as mom as maybe like another enabler,
right? So I think it's really important to give her empathy. Like I know it's bad things to do, but she has the desire why she wants to be like that. So
she has her reasons,
right? So she has probably reasons, and also. Like even though the parents or her friends can try to help her, so then they need to meet professionals.
Yeah, right.
It's hard to handle, so that's why.
Okay, all right. So that's something when you have friends and family around, a person that might be facing that problem.
So be supportive, be empathetic, and just kind of, I don't know, maybe even just. I don't know how you would bring it up. That's very difficult, isn't it? It's a very difficult thing, but just showing support and showing love to the person and supporting them where they are and for who they are at the time. Yeah. Is there anything else that Sarah should consider?
So instead of looking for quick solutions, focus on making long-lasting changes to your lifestyle. Start by adding healthy food to your meals little by little. And find the physical activities that you enjoy doing. It's important to prioritize your overall well-being, and instead of just trying to achieve a specific body shape or size. So remember, small and steady steps toward a healthier lifestyle can make a big difference in the long run.
Yeah. Not too much too soon, just slow and steady.
맞아요.
Yeah.
But I guess in a perfect situation and all these things are going for Sarah, then it might help her. But what if she's still struggling?
Right. I mentioned it earlier that so if you think that you cannot handle the situation by yourself, you might consider consulting with a mental health professional. They can provide valuable support and guidance to address any underlying issues related to body image and self-esteem.
Yeah. Such an important topic that we covered today, especially during summertime. I feel like people dieting and trying to lose weight quick, and especially at a time when your view of yourself and your body image, self-body image, is even more sensitive these days in the summer season because it's hot. Everybody has to be a bit more bearing, right? When it comes to what they wear. So. Yeah, I feel like it's a very relevant topic these days, especially for the younger generation.
Yeah. And just, there's nothing more important than your health.
Right.
And a size of trousers does not define your value. You are just such an important person, regardless of how big or small your dress size is.
맞습니다.
So important to remember that. So
definitely.
important.
Yeah. Well, 원장님, thank you so much. Like I said, we covered such an important topic today. We have a couple listeners actually
so many messages
chiming in. Yeah. 우리 일요의 충전소님, recently some of my friends criticized my shape and I asked for their apology because I thought that was very rude.
Yeah.
Because I love who I am now.
Good.
I think that's good. 충전소님, I think that's a great, healthy way, I think, to go about it. Even telling people that what you're saying to me is hurtful. And I don't want to hear that. 맞아요. 네. JB님, 외모 지상주의, quite a lot. 네, 만연한 듯 in Korea still. Yeah, just basically we're so focused on people's looks. That's still a priority here in Korea. 충주선님, hope this country will accept diversity of race, sex, age, health, language, culture. Just everybody's different, and that's okay.
Yeah. Have you heard that Snoop Dogg song?
Which one?
You know that Snoop Dogg has his kids' mindfulness, mental health. It's called Doggyland.
Oh.
And there's there's a song called Everybody's Different. And it's basically everybody's different and that's okay.
네.
I'm different. I'm taller. I'm smaller. I got braids. I got and so it's teaching kids through the beautiful method of rap and hip hop
Yeah.
to love themselves for who they are and to embrace diversity.
맞아요.
Giving really positive messages.
Definitely.
Snoop Dogg.
by Snoop Dogg. 원장님, thank you so much. That'll do it for today's 마음톡톡 Mind Talk with 오정아 원장님.
Thank you,
원장님,
원장님.
Thank you for listening. I'll
Thank
see you next Thursday then.
Yay.
Bye.
We got one
Bye.
more message
Oh.
there. Cosname, this is a very insightful segment. Thank you for sharing your stories.
Oh,
네,
thank you.
너무
Thank
감사합니다. We'll see you next Thursday, okay?
네.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, a song request from Lee Kelly name. I Want to Be There, Blessed Union of Souls.
Won't you let me catch a fall? Won't you let me lend a hand? Those lonely eyes have seen it all, but love's too blind to understand. 'Cause you don't know what you have till your everything is gone. You need someone to show you how to live again. I wanna be there when you're feeling high. I wanna be there when you wanna die. I'm gonna light your fire. I'm gonna feel your flame. I wanna be there when you go insane. I wanna be there when you're feeling down, and I'll be there when your head is spinning round. I'm gonna be your lover, gonna be your friend. I wanna be there till the end. You wouldn't know that I was there, 'cause I have been there all the time. And if I had my way, I'd hold you in my arms and leave this madness all behind. 'Cause you got so much to give, but you throw it all away. And all you got to show for who you are is pain. And I got so much to give. If you only let me in, I'm gonna take the time to show you I'm a friend. You'll believe in love again. I wanna be there in the pouring rain. I wanna be there when you call my name. I'm gonna light your fire. I'm gonna feel your flame. I wanna be there when you go insane. I wanna be there when I'm out of town, and when your whole damn world is crashing down. I'm gonna be your lover, gonna be your friend. I wanna be there till the end, yeah. Baby cries. I wanna be there when they tell you lies. I'm gonna light your fire. I'm gonna feel your flame. I wanna be there when you go insane. I wanna be there when your nights are long, and when you're feeling like you don't belong. I'm gonna be your lover, gonna be your friend. Gonna be there till the end.
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 인사이드 아웃 부산의 품격 있는 라이더 스티브입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in Gyeonggi-dong and Yeonsan-dong, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. 뮤지엄 오브 일루전 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:49 on the clock. We've got just over 5 minutes left of tonight's show. But before we go, it's time for Quote Unquote, the segment where we bring you a quote. Unquote.
That is the name of the show.
That is
the
segment.
segment. It's your turn today.
It is my turn today. So today, I haven't brought a clip today either. On Monday, I brought Know Thyself.
Yes.
By Socrates.
Check yourself.
Or Socrates.
Which is a modern way of saying.
Yes. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Shamon. And today, because we had 원장님 segment, I thought I would bring in a quote about self-love. And so this is from one of my favorite authors, Brené Brown. Talk to yourself like someone you love.
Oh, talk to yourself like someone you love. 그거 너무 좋다.
좋지.
Yeah. I never do that.
Nobody does. Well, we do sometimes. Okay, I do sometimes. Today, I was actually, this quote was on my affirmations app. And so I was walking home with my headphones on, yelling at myself, I am affirmations. And I was being very kind to myself because recently, I told you the other day, I'm at this kind of crossroads in my life. But recently, it's been very difficult to be kind to myself. I find that we are often very quick to be critical and mean and unkind to ourselves about anything. But imagine we were as kind to ourselves as we are to the people that we love.
Yeah. I think it'd be a little awkward for me, actually, to treat myself as I would treat like my wife or my daughter. I don't know, because I shared it a couple times with you how I very much go out of my way to make sure other people are comfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I put myself in harm's way. I sacrifice, my time, effort, energy, happiness sometimes too, to make sure that other people are happy.
Here's a follow-on quote because I knew you would say that.
Yeah.
This is from Rupi Kaur, and it goes, how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you.
Ooh. So am I really kind of like, giving actual love?
You're shooting yourself in the foot, Minsu.
I'm going to stop talking right here.
That tickle you?
A little bit. Right?
But no, I think it's so true. Love yourself as if you are somebody that you love. Like, talk to yourself like someone you love. If I spoke to... So sometimes I nag my son. Okay, fair enough. But I speak to him so kindly. And when he's having a tough time, I'm like, listen, it's okay to feel rubbish. It's okay to feel disappointed. But we got to get back up. We got to try again. And you can do it. You are smart. You are kind. You are so capable. Let's do this, brah.
Yeah.
And so he I always speak to him like that. But I don't
Bruh.
speak to myself like that. I sometimes call myself bruh. But how we treat ourselves is how we're teaching other people to treat us. So if we're not good to ourselves, we're then, we're opening that door for other people to also treat us in a way that's not good. Not to say they are, not to say they will, but we just lower the standards of what we value in ourselves.
맞아요.
When we value ourselves highly, then there's a certain level of stuff that we're willing to accept from other people.
너무 좋네요. I think it's a moment for us for today's quote unquote to kind of reflect on yourself.
Yes.
I feel like.
Reflect yourself. Question. Okay, so I've got a challenge for you, Minsu, on the spot. If you're going to talk to yourself like someone you love, what is something, a very positive thing that you can say to yourself today that is going to upgrade your self-love?
Well, talking about body image today, I always comment to my wife and my daughter that, you look nice today. Like, especially in the morning as they're getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
So maybe telling myself that I look nice today.
Minsu, that's so sweet. You do look nice today, Minsu.
Well, thank you. So maybe like that kind of would give me more confidence.
Yeah.
You never know. Yeah.
So why not try that? See, when you say it to your wife tomorrow morning and then to your daughter tomorrow morning, obviously when no one's listening or watching, stand in the mirror and say it to yourself.
You look nice today.
You do. You deserve the best. But you do.
Yeah.
And we always laugh about it. We make fun of being good to ourselves like that. But we should be.
맞아요.
Why not?
Why not,
Why
right?
not?
Yeah. Treat yourself how you would treat others.
Yes, indeed.
네.
Indeed. That's
너무
today's
좋습니다.
quote unquote for me.
좋습니다. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And actually, that'll do it for today's show.
Yes.
Listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. We do want to let you know that tomorrow, Friday, second half of our show, we have a very special show.
Very,
about to
very
take
special
place.
show. And we can't tell you too much more about it, but some very special people in the studio.
Yeah. So in celebration of the friendship agreement between
The UK.
Busan and the LCR,
Yeah.
right? Over in the UK, the Liverpool City region. We're going to have a special show during the second half of tomorrow's show. So
And
everybody tune in for
I
that.
promise I will try not to do so many Liverpudlian accent impressions. Liverpool.
Because I was
You're
actually
right.
looking forward to a little bit of that.
You're right, Scouse. Anyway, that's very offensive to any Liverpudlians out there. I apologise. You are fabulous. I'm excited for tomorrow. Today's show produced by Kim Yoon, written by Im Soo-jin, hosted by Laura McCluskey.
And hosted by Minsu Shin. Our last track, what is it?
Creep by TLC.
Everybody,
Bye
enjoy the night. Bye.
부산을 한 장의 사진에 담는다면 어디로 가야 할까요? 꼬꼬마 시절 이때만큼은 세상을 내려다보며 꿈을 키웠고 용돈을 모아 산 사진기는 아직도 서랍 속에 있습니다. 시간이 흘러 키는 자라고 사진은 어디
조금만 왼쪽으로. 오른쪽. 지금 말하면은 들릴 건데 마이크 테스트 한번 해보세요. Hello, Mr. Baines.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
No, of course, it's our pleasure. We're just going to do a sound check real quick to make sure you're coming in okay, as well as on the Zoom. Just to let you know, we will be we're recording our Zoom session too, so we could play it for our listeners tomorrow. Okay?
Okay. No problem.
All right. So let's see. Laura, you want to say hi to him too, real quick?
Hello, Councillor Baines.
Hello, you okay?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you perfectly, thank you. My name is Laura McCluckey. You might be able to tell I'm from the UK also. I'm from Glasgow.
Very good.
Nice
to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you.
And I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Min Soo Shin. I was the one in contact with Mr. Campbell to arrange your interview with us. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Baines, I guess a couple things that we want to make sure that, we want to get right during our interview. As Laura kind of referred to you, would it be okay to refer to you as Councillor Baines, or is there something that you prefer?
Councillor Baines is fine, or you can call me David. I'm not. We don't need to be formal. It's fine.
Okay, so Councillor Baines, or just
David. Up to you.
I'm going to try my hardest not